Hello everyone and welcome back to our PCG graph series. And in this understanding PCG, we're going to be explaining how to make use of the volume that the PCG graph is actually inside of. As you notice, when we drag it in, it's a big box, we can make use of that actually for our PCG graph generation. So let's take a look at how we make use of this and where it could be quite useful. So first things first, let's create a new PCG. And we're going to do PCG volume. And I'm going to just open this up. And very simply, because it's its own data, its own volume data, if you just type in get volume, you'll get volume data, and that's it. It's just going to get its own shape. And then from that, we can sample the volume using our sample node. And I'm just going to put in debug here and change the scale method to absolute. Now, on the volume sampler, there is a thing called a voxel size. So basically, imagine it's taking up that big cube and it's dividing up into smaller cubes. And that's our voxels. Voxels are just three-dimensional pixels. And in here, it said that each one's 100 by 100 by 100. Now, if I were to just drag that into the scene right now, leaving it as is, it's just going to look like one big white box. And the reason why it looks like one big white box is that all the boxes that are making up the debug for this are all next to each other, like right up against each other. So what I'm going to do is just change the voxel size here, 200, 200, 200. Now see all those voxels are now separated out. Okay. Now it's sampling not just the edges, but the insides too. But what if you just want to sample the outsides? How can you exclude everything in the middle? Good question. Let's take a look at how we achieve that. So here we have a volume, and I want to say I just want to get the outside edges of the volume. I just want to exclude all the points except for the ones around the edges, the extents of them. And I don't necessarily want the top or bottom either. So how do I achieve this? Well, let's go look at our PCG. In our PCG, we first of all need to get the bounding box of the whole entire thing as a single point. Okay. So when we got the volume data, we also want to get the actor data as well. And when we do this, you'll see there's a mode for data retrieval, and we can change this to get a single point. This will get the whole actor bounds as a object, as a point rather. Correct. And from the get actor point data here, I want to, first of all, just scale these down. So I'm going to do a bounds modifier. And let me just turn off the debug for this one and put on debug for this one. And you'll see that it's the same size as the volume. This is a single point. Remember, we just chose a single point. But I want to scale it down. So in bounds min and max, I'm going to change these to 0.75, 0.75, 0.75, 0.75, 0.75, 0.75. Obviously, we can tweak that. We may have to tweak it in a second, but we'll see how we get on. But the bounds modifier now tweaked. You can see it's now smaller than the bounds. Okay. So with that in mind, we now want to scale it up. So I want to take out the top and bottom of this too. So the bounds modifier, I'm going to take out and do a transform of the point. Even though it says points, this is a single point, remember? And I'm going to turn the debug off that. And on transform points, I'm going to stretch it through the top. So I'm going to turn scale min and max to not be locked. So make this as unlocked. Then change the Z value here to 2 and 2. And you will make sure uniform scale is turned off. That way, it will let you scale it up. And let's put on debug. Okay, so now it's stretched up and out of the area. So now we've got that single point, and I've got the other points. I just need now to take one away from the other. And we do that using a difference node. So if I take out here and do difference, and put in differences there, and we'll debug this lot. You can see now we are just getting the outside edges. Now the colorization you're seeing here is basically the density of each point, okay? But we're not really fussed about density, we're not using it. We just need to know individual points. So what we're going to do now is go into PCG and just change the scale method of the extents here to absolute. And we can see now what it's doing. So here we can see the scaling is a little bit off for these sides as we've got 2 points either side here. So let's change our bounds modifier to accommodate for that. I'm going to go to bounce modifier, and let's change that to 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, 8. And okay, better on that side, but this side needs a bit better. Let's try 8.5. 0.85, 0.85, 0.85, 0.85, 0.85, 0.85. It's in there. It's black now. And then we can go to maybe 0.9. There we go. Okay. So now we got our points all around the edges. Again, don't worry about the color that they're at, 'cause we're not going to use density. We just want to know each one like this. Okay. So that's how we get the outside edges of this. And that's going to be very useful if you want to, say, do a building of some kind and you want to stretch it out and do like walls and things like that. Okay. We can achieve all of those sort of things quite easily. So our goal at the moment is we want to just grab the edges of our volume here. So we don't want the bits in the middle. So we could do an overlapping thing, but then it doesn't match well with the scaling. A far better way would probably be taking the position data and look at the minimum max values of each axis. So let's take a look at our graph here. And let me get rid of some of this stuff that I've been messing around with. And in the volume sampler here, we're going to take out this out pin here, and we're going to do an attribute select. This allows us to select an individual point based upon a specific attribute. And in here, input source wise, we're going to click on position. We're going to choose the axis of X, and we're going to choose the operation of minimum. And what that would do, if I go to debug this, is it will select just one point. It'll choose the one that's the minimum of the X. So if I use that as my filter, I want to say if any point below this value, I want to exclude it. And that's what we're going to be doing. So we got this. We are then going to filter the data by attribute. And the attribute we're going to filter by... no, not that one. Filter. Point filter. There we go. Again. So we're going to use a filter, and we're going to use the point filter. So point filter. And the filter is going to be a point. We're going to drag it into there. And the attribute filter, we're going to choose the one that's got the equals. And the target attribute is going to be our position. And threshold attributes can be position. Oh, like that. Now, I'm going to turn off debug on this one and put it on this one instead. At the moment, and we'll also make it so it's not stretched out to the extents. Like that. Okay, so immediately you'll see nothing's happened, right? And that's because we haven't specified which position coordinate to use inside of our filter. So we're going to do target attribute of point capital X, point capital X. And then I hit save. Okay. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to select it, but again, it won't show you it because what this is actually doing is it's now split it into inside filter and outside filter. So what I want to do is I want to make a difference node from this. I do difference, and I want to do difference from everything from the outside filter. Now, if I put debug on this, it will now exclude all of the other stuff. Okay, we've only got that wall points. Now I want to do this for the other sides as well. So how do we actually achieve that? Because that's going to get messy quite quick. But one thing you can do, much like material nodes, is add a named reroute node. On this volume sample, I'm going to drag it out and do a named reroute. And we're just going to have it like that. And rather than it plugging into the source like there, I can just do the volume. Oh, right. Volume sampler out. Okay. You can rename these things with F2 like normal, but we can do like that for now. There's our source. So with that done, I can now need to do that for all the other directions as well. So let's go ahead and do that one. So that's minimum on X. Let's now do maximum on X. So I can either do that or tidy like this. Disconnect that there. So I'm going to copy and paste our filter system. Ooh. We're going to change this one, obviously, to be min to max. And over here, take this and put that in too. That's our filter. Now, these two together are going to show us those top walls. Now, if I were to make these together, I want to use a union. Now, I'll bring those two data sets together. If I put debug on that one and turn it off for these guys, you should see them still two together. Right, so that's the X coordinate. We now need to do the Y coordinate. So let me just put there. And we're just going to copy and paste all there. I'm going to change this to Y. Change this one to Y. And on the filter here, I'm going to change that to Y there. Y there. Y. Y. And again, we want to do difference nodes with the union. Outside filters going into our differences. And your unions can actually be all one thing together if you wanted to. Like that. You don't have to have two, you can have one. And if I go now, we can see we've now got like a box of all of our points together. And what's really good about this is as I scale the shape around, it won't be affected by the changes going on with the scale there. Excellent. So you can already start seeing how this can be used to create buildings. We'll continue this further in the next episode and go through how to change some of these points to walls, especially specifying the bottom wall. Okay, so how we're going to select out of all those points the bottom floor and how we indicate each floor going up. Watch that next episode right now over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley, where you find all my videos early before anyone else from just $1 a month. A massive thank you to all our patrons and YouTube members for their continued support in the channel. Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.